What's going on, believers? Guys, Saitama is going to make a move. We're just right there for it to make a move. And you know what I've been getting? I've been getting a bunch of people who've been telling me, well, you always say that you're right. You're always right. You're not always right. You know what I hear when you say that? Quit acting like a baby. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, guys, we got Saitama trading at $27.99. When we started this, it was at $28.41, but that cascade of chat off is still happening. You can really look down this list here, and you can just see that this is just a bunch of these weak chads that are holding on. There's going to be a lot more of this coming. Now, if we get a good announcement and we get a lot of things happening, just like in a real quick succession, because like let's go over here and look at the green over here. You see Impact is up 66% because they are going to be on Saitama. I'm not sure that's the exact reason. I don't follow Impact XP. I just know that they're going to be provided. So I look at it and I see that, and I see Saitama. They were the only two things that were moving last night. The rest was pretty much dead in the water. You can remove that Floki because it's got a new contract, but those two being the only ones that were moving was probably this little lift right here was them getting ready for that move. Then you had the Chadscade of Chads that did their little sell-off to bring it back down here. But I gave you a video last night, and I told you, and I want to pull it out now to show you on these sticks here, that pattern of movement was trending. I'm not getting it exactly right, but I'm getting it close enough. But you see here, it's starting to trend to the upside. So when you look at it, you see here, we got an opportunity to cascade over here in the next few hours, pop down around 26, 25 again before we make that next move upwards. Now, that's going to be dependent on any announcements that can or should be made at this point. It's been my understanding that Saitama is working, that it's operational, that it's functional. There's still people who are nervous because they don't want to re-register, which is just nonsense to me. But you do you. Otherwise, for most people, it's working. However, registration was shut off because guess what? It's about to happen. That's what we're getting to. Now, here's the issue with the market. I want you to pay strict attention to me right now because this is very important. In 2 days, the Fed is going to meet. So around the 25th and 26th, we're going to find out whether interest rates are going to be raised or not. If interest rates are raised before March and they decide to do it early, then this market is going to tank because what you wanted and what everybody was desiring so much was for that, what do you call it? Wall Street money. Everybody was dying for that Wall Street money to come in. Well, here it is. The Wall Street money is here, and now it controls your markets. What we have to do at this point is we have to take a few moments, breathe, obviously better than I do right now. Take a few minutes, relax, take a breath, and give it just a few days to see what it is that happens. Now, if the Fed says that they will not raise the interest rates until March, which was what they intended to do to begin with, and that means that we've got some more time, and the market should spike itself and start moving back up. However, a couple days after that, we've also got the alleged invasion by Russia of the Ukraine, and they are looking for a reason, and I have a feeling that they're probably going to fake start something in order to invade, because that's kind of the modus operandi at this point of what's happening. So we had a couple of different factors that are working against a big parabolic move right now. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that we've got some things that are working against it. Now, here's what I'm going to say. If you are here right now, take your profits when you can take your profits. Accumulate a better position. Do what you got to do to make sure that you are in the best possible position, because there is going to be a run-up on Saitama. As soon as Saitama is released, and as soon as we start to see this big population of all of these tokens, and we start to see some trading, remember, when you were looking, and I'm going to show you this. So what you see here is the difference in gas fees between Saitama and Uniswap. Saitama 41 USD, Uniswap 270 USD. Guess who's going to explode in the next couple of days? So we are on the precipice of not necessarily a blockchain, but at least a swap. And Saitama is trading at 7 zeros 2803 right now. But if you just consider that Uniswap, PancakeSwap, all of these guys are trading at the $20 range and with a higher market cap than what we currently have, then you can see the level of growth, the level of opportunity that is here immediately. If this plays out the way that it does, then you have 319,000 hodlers. And by the way, let's take that for what it is. At 319,000 hodlers sounds like a lot, but let's be fair about this. When there's a lot of activity on Saitama, and until recently, until the developers kind of squashed the momentum on Saitama, until that happened, there were a lot of investors. So even people who were selling were still stuck with dust in their wallet. So we don't have 319,000 pure people holding on, waiting for a profit. We have probably more like 200,000 and 100,000 dusters sitting in there with just some extra stuff in their wallet right now. So don't confuse where it is that we really are, and don't kid yourself into believing otherwise. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, because these people see it in their wallet, and hopefully that will cause them, when they see the up movement, they'll come back in, and maybe they're watching because of that. So it's a good thing, but it's not a real 300,000 investor. If you go look at some of the more active telegrams, then you will see that there is not a lot of activity in the Saitama Telegram compared to the activity in some of these other ones, especially Impact XP last night. Impact XP last night did have thousands upon thousands of comments, while Saitama had hundreds upon hundreds of comments. So you have to look at activity. You have to think that all of these things matter in the short term. But guess what? All of those people who are not here right now, as soon as Saitamask works, and as soon as these guys stop with whatever it is that they're doing and do the part where it actually works and functions, that everything's going to look a whole lot better. Moving on. Saitama. Here's the question that has to be asked right now. Are we a token of the people? Now, if you go listen to Russ and you go listen to everybody else who will tell you that, then the answer is, well, yeah, of course we are. But then after you hear that, you heard, and I'm going to go back just a little ways, and please stick with me for just a second. Also, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. But a long time ago, Russ said, well, as soon as this thing is ready, then we're going to launch it, because this is a project of the people for the people. This is the people's token. This is really the people's token. That's not just something that's made up. Now, flash forward to a couple days later, CertiK certified that the audit was completed and the token was ready to launch. And what Russ said was, well, it will launch the next day because we are the people's token and we are token of the people. And then guess what happened? They delayed the launch until it was more suitable. We are supposed to be a token of the people, by the people, for the people, but we're not acting like it right now. Someone once said, and I think it was a wise gentleman, very handsome too. I think his name was, oh yeah, it was me, that
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like